Friends, how are you doing? Sorry for the weird look. I am on vacay for a few days here, but I have been watching the stock market all day. Let's talk about Big Bear. Man, Big Bear ended really great setup today. I mean, beautiful setup. It could not be better here for what tomorrow could bring. Obviously, last week, Big Bear ended in a different world. This now Monday here, we find ourselves with this whole Ukraine situation. Things are a little different. Defense is getting a little bit hot and heavier here with conversations of what's going on. And there's a lot of whispers. There's a lot of whispers out there right now about, defense progression with money, companies, and Big Bear is in that. It's in that gossip chain right now, and we'll take it. We want it. Now, obviously, there's great things that are, happening right now for Big Bear, obviously, because Big Bear is already in this, situation of defense contracts with the United States government. So this is a great place for Big Bear to be sitting with what the theme of the market is right now, essentially with what everyone's looking for: AI, cheap AI stocks, and defense stocks. Cheap defense stocks. Big Bear's check on that. So this is where we find ourselves right now with Big Bear. I do think regardless we are seeing something, and I think this has been kind of obvious here the last at least 4 months with all these deals that have been progressing, and just even this month alone, last 30 days with new partnerships with Big Bear, that revenue will be met this year. They will beat expectation of probably what they're going to do. They could end the year here at least 180, 190 million, 200 being, the cherry on top here. And that's great. That would be great for Big Bear. Now, obviously, let's go right into short moment here with what could possibly happen. Big Bear today hit 418. That was the most we got out of it for a split second. And this all came pretty much at the end of the day today. Big Bear, the market opened up kind of slow today, and then it just progressed, but Big Bear stole the show away today with just this huge walk up. I mean, today you could have bought Big Bear at around $3.86 and then sold it today at $4.80. Holy smokes, what a freaking climb. So this leads me to suspect that tomorrow we're going to continue with volume. I think right now, the number one thing that I've seen people say here with what's going on with Iran and Trump, all this, how will this progress, all that kind of stuff. What is the market gonna do? How is the market gonna react to this? When we look through history, obviously being a part of something what's going on right now, defense stocks obviously will do well, and that's one reason why we find ourselves in this very particular moment, not only with Big Bear, but Palantir especially. I mean, Palantir, that's just that's the golden goose. That is guaranteed. Just, we don't even know how high Palantir is going to go at this point. It's just the sky's the limit. But Big Bear is in this very, very curious situation right now with a lot of us, where we go, we've been watching Big Bear here for the last 6 months get these defense contracts, now get these new partnerships, really push into the airport security situation with their Face ID scanning situation software, but now Big Bear, it's still undervalued 100%. And when I say, Big Bear is going to meet expectation or beat expectation probably this year with revenue, it's because, even the quarterly compared to, Q1 of this year compared to Q1 of 2024, Q1 of this year, 2025, is a whole lot better. It's already showing that they still missed it, but it's under $2 million. They were so close. So with all this compounding that's been going on here with Big Bear here, we're going to see it nonetheless. This is probably going to be the best year they've ever had financially, even at this point here, mid-year. $5 to $6, I don't think is out of the range at all. It's just, I think at this point, it's just the moment of it. When is it going to happen? $5-6 is pretty much coming at this point. I think that's probably something majority of us can agree on if you're here looking at Big Bear and you've been following it. The chart on Big Bear is It's so beautiful right now. I mean, if you look at this 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be a huge build. I mean, there is undoubtedly no question that the fourth climb here is going to be huge in the $5 to $6. In two, like I was saying about this whole Iran situation that's going on right now, Big Bear, if whether people want to believe this, not believe it, not hear it, whatever, I know it's a delicate situation, it's a delicate conversation, but as investors, this could be a golden moment for Big Bear to really push into some situations. Now, obviously, the thumbnail said whispers, because right now that's all it is. It's just gossip in there. It's hopes, it's dreams, it's our fantasies right now that we want with Big Bear. Now, obviously, no matter what happens with this Iran situation, how it progresses, doesn't progress, who knows? We do know this, that Trump is going to continue to spend ungodly amounts of money on defense. So, the Golden Dome, more than ever, it's going to happen at this point. AI, defense, software, everything, they are pushing into defense. And that's why Palantir and Big Bear are in this very, very special moment right now when it comes to all cylinders are at go and everything is hit at the right time. I mean, that's why I say Big Bear right now is in this situation, this particular moment in time where you look at Big Bear and it's achieved all these defense deals, and now the market is so hot right now with investors. Like, what are defense deals? I mean, like, I had like 4 people message me this week since all this happened and be like, what are some defense contracts that I can, what is defense stocks that I can buy? What should I be looking at? And obviously Palantir being one of the safest ones to go that route to take, but Big Bear undoubtedly is in that conversation right now because of all the defense contracts that it has attached to it. And it's still such an affordable stock for the average investor right now. I mean, everyone can afford, a handful of shares of Big Bear, if not 100 shares to 50 shares to maybe thousands of shares. Who knows what you're working with here. But I do think undoubtedly that Big Bear is undervalued at this point for what it has, what's coming. I think it's going to be a slow trickle up for Big Bear to really see some big revenue with the stock price. And I'm talking like, because a lot of people are saying why is it not at 15? Why is it not at 20? I'm not so much worried about Big Bear getting out of control and getting away from me unless it was to get some kind of huge contract. And why I say that is because Big Bear still needs to meet quarterlies. Big Bear still needs to prove to big money, big investors that it is going to succeed in revenue this year, that it's going to start beating expectations with quarterlies. It's going to, maybe even come remotely close to, capturing $200 million in revenue this year. And that's still not crazy amount of money compared to a lot of AI stocks, but, it's a lot for Big Bear at this point. So I think more than ever, there is, plenty of conversation to say that Big Bear is in this great position right now where, we have this beautiful, beautiful wall that is being built back into $4. And I think right where I started my little purple line here after 3, right where that purple line starts, that's right in that 430 zone. Now we're down into this 418, 410 zone. If we can keep this momentum going, we may be chipping away $4 here and getting into a $5 position. So I'm very, very curious to see how the rest of the week is really going to go here with Big Bear. It was a phenomenal day, and the fact that Big Bear pushed so much later into the day was very interesting. But I will say that there's nothing, solid out there. I think I was on StockTwits, and people were posting these tweets that Trump had put out talking about Big Bear, thanking Big Bear. They're not real. They're not real whatsoever. They're totally fake. Trump has said nothing like that about Big Bear. It's just completely fake. So don't fall for that stuff. If it was, that'd be huge. But it's not real. So with that, good things with Big Bear to keep in the back of your mind, to stay focused with Big Bear. If you're like sold out with Big Bear, you're like, man, I want this to work. I'm so so curious about the stock. I'm so interested in it. I'm so drinking the juice on what it's offering. Revenue is going up. That is something that we can see. Phenomenal. Great. We still have not beat expectations, but still we are moving up. Great. The last essentially 8 months here with Big Bear have been bigger than the last 8 years with the company. Guaranteed 100%. New structure on the company. The CEO, Kevin, relationship with Trump. They have past history together. Kevin himself has military background. So I think 100% there's a reason why Big Bear is finding itself in this situation of getting government contracts and being in this conversation, and that's why there's heavy gossip with it right now. We're investors. We're little detectives. We gotta look this stuff up and down, looking for anything we can here. That's a lot of what investing is. You're just looking for detail in the detail. You're looking for clues. You're looking for what's gonna happen, what has happened, and this is where we find ourselves. So, like I said, Palantir too as well. Palantir is just in this situation where it's not letting up at all. I mean, it's not giving up this 130 zone, and I don't. This could be a moment right here with Palantir right now where it just goes. I'm not letting go. I'm not letting go. I'm actually going to push into 150, and a month, 2 months, maybe 40 days from now, before Q2 here, we might be at 155, 160. It sounds crazy. It sounds stupid. I know. But we have seen crazier things in the market here with AI stocks in the past 5 years than we've seen in a long time with a lot of stocks. So Palantir, more than even Big Bear, I would say, is in this very golden goose moment of investing. I mean, this is once in a lifetime. I mean, you're talking about a company, a stock that is swimming in defense contracts, that is in the White House, that is shaking hands, rubbing shoulders with Trump, defense, everything. It just could not be any sweeter of a situation for you as an investor. God, look at it. It's gonna make you so much money. I just made this video, I think over the weekend, about Palantir, and I was like, I don't know how much more evidence you need to know that Palantir is gonna make you freaking rich over the next 3 to 5 years if you're willing to go with it. It is 100% just going to keep pushing into defense stocks. And I friends, listen, whether you like what's going on right now or not with Trump, you like it, you don't like it, listen, do yourself well with your family, with your future, make money off of it. Because here's what we know. He's about to spend so much money on defense. He already had. That's what he did his first administration. He's doing it again. Okay, good, great, grand. You as an investor, it's like laser beam, solid golden brick road. Follow it. I mean, it couldn't be any more obvious where the money is going at this point. So yeah, friends, I really do want to wish everyone best of luck. Big Bear has set itself up, I think, in a beautiful position right now. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen tomorrow morning. I think, as long as the market, obviously the market opened up today just being a little cautious. I mean, we were walking through some dark woods with just flashlights, and I think we finally got through, out of the woods here and came into some light towards way later into the day. But, the market is looking to run. The market is wanting to buy and spend money and take profit at the right moment and keep pushing up here. We're seeing this. And anything attached right now with defense, it's doing well. This is what it is. So investors know what they're doing. Investors, don't be naive to big money right now that they're not buying defense and AI. Don't be naive to that. They are loading up on these things because they know that more than likely this whole Iran, wherever this goes to at this point, regardless, Trump is spending a ton of money on defense, because he will probably use this as his backboard to say, like, hey, we gotta do it. So yeah, friends, like I said, I wish all of you best of luck. I will be back talking tomorrow, probably looking like a lobster, but friends, take care of yourself. Good luck tomorrow if you're swing trading or whatever you're doing. I might do some swing trading on Big Bear, see how far it goes tomorrow, but I'm very curious. I think a lot of us are in the green at this point, if not still holding some bags from back then, but if you haven't been buying your position down. But I think regardless, the short term, short term here, the next 30 days, 40 days here, even weeks at this point, I think Big Bear is going to really start to push. And I think Big Bear is going to really start to push off all this defense conversation. Like I said, investors aren't naive to what's going on. They know what they're looking for, and they know what they're going to buy. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.